friends, Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. Welcome back to my channel. We are here for floss tube number 159, and we are here for a lot of stitchy goodness. Making sure I don't kick anything down here and don't kick the table too hard. How are you guys doing? You had a good couple of weeks? I have had a fantastic couple of weeks. Lots going on, both personal and business-wise. The videos that you saw at the beginning, I hope you enjoyed them. Some of them are of a drive Mike and I took over into eastern Idaho and down into Wyoming. It was a gorgeous day for a beautiful fall drive, so I hope you enjoyed those. Such a gorgeous area I live in. And of course, this time of year, well, 2 weeks ago, time of year, winter has arrived. More on that in a sec. Also, the pictures of Ben with his Afghan. He did love it. He was here the past few days. He left on Thursday, late morning. He is now over in Washington, southern Washington. Moved into the apartment, not unpacked, but moved in, and just so excited to have this part of his life starting. And we are very excited for him too. It was a great visit. It was great to see him. And very gratifying whenever your kid snuggles up in a blanket that you've knit for him. So that was wonderful. Let's see. So what's happening? Like I said, winter has arrived. We had some snow while Ben was here, so he was very happy. He loves snow, to see that. We have some trees that are totally devoid of leaves, and a lot of trees that still have their green leaves on. So I think the trees are very confused at this point, but it's cold here. Yeah, winter has made it. As many of you know, Stitch West has come and gone. It was amazing. I have a lot of videos, videos of the brag table, videos of my vendor table at the event, videos of a maker who brought, oh my God, I don't even know how many. She does a lot of mirabilias and lavender and lace, and she brought them to show and just did kind of a ad hoc. Actually, I think the other ladies at her table did kind of an ad hoc show and tell for whoever was passing by, and I happened to be passing by and took video of it. I did not get your name. It was so spur of the moment. I was taking the video. I didn't even think to stop and write down your name. So if you are watching this, or if one of you who is watching this knows who the stitcher is, I am desperate to give her credit. As you will see at the video at the end, absolutely stunning work. There's also one chatelaine in there, the St. Petersburg mandala, just extraordinary stitching. So yeah, I want to be sure and give her credit, but I didn't note it down. We also had a fire alarm in the midst of Stitch West, so that was fun. So just some fun videos of that as well. It was an amazing weekend. It was great having a retreat kind of right in my backyard, so I didn't have to travel too far. Could drive down. Mike, of course, did go with me, and he helped me at my table, which of course was a huge help. And it's just always fun doing things with him, and of course he loved flirting with all the ladies, so that's always fun. Like I said, gorgeous stitching, a wonderful time, amazing designs shared, and of course the very special exclusive from Teresa Kogut that I will be showing here in a little bit. So yeah, fantastic weekend, but all of those videos I've saved for the end of this one, so I hope you will stay tuned for that. This is going to be a long video, I think. There's a lot to cover here. So that is kind of what's happening. Let's see. My selling at Stitch West was amazing. It was amazing seeing people stitching my designs. It was amazing meeting several of you that just were kind of the highlight. Jerica, yes, I'm looking at you. I am sending you a huge hug. Tammy Toten, I'm looking at you as well. Maureen Hess, I am looking at you. Those are some of the highlights. Wendy Petrus from the Heart Needle Arts. She lives a mile from me, but we don't get together here that much. So I had some time to chat with her there and, of course, see her beautiful designs. She was also a vendor there, so that was awesome. Yeah, it's just... There's nothing like an in-person event. You've heard it from many others. You're hearing it from me. If you have a chance to attend a retreat, grab it and run with it. The next one that I hope to do, if my fingers are fast enough, is the Sampler Symposium at the Attic in January. Let's see, October 31st at... I'm not sure of the time. I think it's 9 a.m. Arizona time, which is Pacific time up until November 1st. That goes up for grabs October 31st. So you have to send in an email saying, count me in, and you have to get in to be one of the first however many people, right? So I have a reminder set. Hopefully the reminder is set for the correct time. And I hope to get in. Let's see. So yeah, that will be the next event. Of course, I won't be selling there, but it will be surrounded by other beautiful stitchers, which is always an amazing time. Let's see. All right, so that's kind of my short and sweet life update. It's all about the stitching at this point. Got the Ben across the country and to his place in Washington, and that is a huge relief for this mama. So yeah, just kind of ready to hunker down and stitch and create new designs and get ready for Christmas. The Thanksgiving, we will be heading down to Phoenix to spend Thanksgiving with my father-in-law. So looking forward to that as well. Stitching. All right, behind me, I want to share. This was the exclusive that I did for Stitch West. It is stitched on 40 count Time Goes By Seraphim Fabrics. It is stitched with a variety of overdyed flosses. The saying is north, south, east, west. Stitching with friends is best. And I am so pleased with how many of you love this at Stitch West. It is not available yet anywhere else, and it won't be available. I'm thinking I won't release it in general until January. I'll save it for a January release. So, but that is what I was working on for Stitch West. I wanted to remind you that Silver Bells, the set is still available. So Maria's rendition of it and mine, and then the project bag that goes with it is here with all of the goodies. So mysticmeadowcreations.com is the website you go to get that. I will be linking that below. I wanted to point out, though, or mention a fantastic idea that one of the ladies at Stitch West has. She saw this and she immediately thought that it would be really cool to take the little bells and make them into ornaments. So stitch those as smalls all separate and make those into ornaments. And you could even take this little village scene in the center here and create it as a small and make it into an ornament. So I hope she does that. I think that's just such a brilliant idea. And I hope she shares it with me because I would really love to see it. I think that, you know, creative, just so creative. The other thing I wanted to share with you is a couple of my older ones that I haven't talked about in a while. One of them is Winter Flourish. It is here. So I have a whole set of Flourish designs. And here is Autumn Flourish. Now, poor Autumn Flourish has never been finished yet. I really have to correct that. Oh, there's a nice crease in it too. I really have to correct that and get this finished. So these were designs that I had made for while I was digital scrapbooking. And I translated them into cross-stitch patterns. So I do have all 4 seasons available. This is autumn, like I said, and this is winter. They are charted and overdyed flosses, and there is also a DMC conversion in the charts for them. These are all available at your local shops. If your local shop is not carrying it and you are interested, you can tell them that Hoffman does have them, and they can contact Hoffman to order them. I was going to say something else about that. Oh, so they are also available as a PDF in my Etsy shop. They are available at Fat Quarter Shop as a PDF, as well as 123 Stitch and Everything Cross Stitch. All the different retail shops also either are carrying them or they are available for them to get for you. So I just think those are some really different type of seasonal things. And since it came from my previous craft world into this craft world, I just think that's kind of fun. So that's kind of what's happening as far as finished designs in my design world. My current stitching, I do have a finished object, and of course stitching away on my designs. So current designs I'm working on. I'm not going to share them at this point. Not really enough to share, although, well, not ready to share. I do have my samplings of lace winter. I have one more of them to stitch up, so that's the set of 3, like these ones here, right? So I'm working on winter, and 2 of them are pretty much stitched, so I have the 3rd one to stitch, and those will be ready for finishing. I am happy to report that Maria Kutzner, my partner in crime for Silver Bells, is coming to visit in November, in a couple weeks. So she's probably going to be doing some hardcore teaching on how to finish these things without as much grief as I usually feel. So I may still just hand the strawberry off to her and say, you do it. I don't need any more gray hair. I'm quite gray enough, thank you very much. But I'm looking forward to spending some time with Maria here. We plan on going down to Shepherd's Bush. I'm not sure what day yet. Probably on the Saturday that she is here, because Mike will probably go with us, and then he can go to the Air Force Museum down in Ogden while we are at Shepherd's Bush. So looking forward to that. So there's that stitching. For the samplings of lace, I am just about done designing Carolyn's balloons. I think that might be off screen. It's over there. Carolyn's balloons winter. Just about done with the designing of that. So as soon as I'm done stitching the samplings winter, I'll be starting to stitch that. And then I will be starting to design my next, or to chart actually, my next reproduction sampler, which is the other Spanish sampler I got. I hope to have that stitched and ready for release in December. So lots. And then once December's over and that's done, I will be focused totally. Hopefully by then I will know if I've gotten into Nashville, and if so, I will be focused totally on designing stuff for Nashville. So lots going on in my stitching world, my design stitching world. There's also a lot going on now that an Afghan is completed and I'm not spending all of my spare time knitting. I'm getting back to other stitching. So what do we got going on? Let me make sure I'm caught up on my notes. We are good. So I actually have a finished object. Not fully finished. I don't have my little whiteboard behind me. Hold on. All right. I finally finished Threadwork Primitives. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Christmas Fruit Basket is what its proper name is. So again, Threadwork Primitives. That is the chart. This is stitched on Graham Cracker Fabrics tea set with my own conversion to Vicky Clayton's hand-dyed fibers flosses, silk flosses. So I will get this finished into a pillow, possibly when Maria is here. I have so many pillows to do. I've got to get over my, not really fear of sewing, just not my favorite thing to do. So, because I have so many things to finish. But anyways, this is 40 count fabric. So I am thrilled to be able to report I have a finish. That was I worked on that a little bit on the drive down to Stitch West. I worked on it, I don't think I actually worked on it at Stitch West because I was working on other things. But it's been my hour a day project when I wasn't doing work stitching. I will say when Ben was here, so that's 40 count, I really need to have my good light to stitch with it. Ben took over my stitching chair while he was here. That's my recliner with my good light. So I had to sit in a chair that didn't have such good light. So I had to stitch on a higher or a lower count of fabric. So actually I was stitching on my my samplings of lace winter because that's 36 count fabric. So I can do that with just a regular lamp type of thing. All right, so that is that. Other things I worked on at Stitch West. So I wanted to take my Pataki stand and show people the Pataki stand while I was there. So I did take Mrs. Campbell 1805. So this is the hands across the sea design that I am stitching on 56 count Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat Linens. And I didn't work on it a whole lot, but I had just had about maybe that much of this top line done. So I did get more of that done and started on one of those flowers. So let's not hold it upside down, although it's basically the same. That is right here. So I'm just up there a little bit done. The lighting at the room we were in for Stitch West was not the best. I did have my little bright light with me, and that helped. But I couldn't work on this a whole lot. Well, actually, the light died on me. The battery on that doesn't stay lit, doesn't stay powered very long. So the lighting wasn't that great. They did say they are going to be moving to a different room next year for Stitch West next year that will have better lighting, in case you haven't brought, your own light for it. But that is, and I hope to, at some point every month, pick up this or one of the other 56 counts. I love stitching on these small fabrics so much that I really want to be touching them at some point during the month, in between everything else I need to work on. So I am working, like I said, that is 56 count fabric. I am using the called for 100.3 silks. Now I'm going to show you this box. This is Lori Holt's 2023 stitching journal box. I never made it out or never ordered from Amazon a box to hold the silks for this project. And I wanted to take it with me. So I was looking around to see what I had that might work. And my eye fell on this box. So I thought, okay, it might not fit all of them, but I think it'll work. What actually did fit all of them with room to spare. So I don't want to tilt it up too far, but I just have them laying in here, but they're nicely organized kind of in colors. And I can, kind of move them around to see what the number is on the spool. So this is my oh so fancy organization of my silks for Mrs. Campbell. And I have those, whatever this stuff is that came with the journal, kind of laying on the bottom and laying on the top to kind of protect the silks. So there's a fancy organization for you. All right. I also worked on Black Sheep Sampler by Wendy from the Heart Needle Art. Wendy shared that I was working on this, and a lot of people came to see the alternative of kind of her cover photo. So she uses a very white fabric, and I'm using gray, this is actually a 40 count gray by Weeks Dye Works. And also it's because it is a conversion to Vicki Clayton silk. She just wanted people to see kind of different options for this chart. So luckily I had it with me and I could show people and help her sell some charts, hopefully. So as you can see, I am almost done. Now that the Merry Christmas fruit basket is done, the Threadwork Primitives one, this is going to be my hour-a-day project. So you can see I am down here towards the bottom. This is this green line here. That's kind of like grass. That's the bottom line of the chart of the design. And this is a reproduction sampler. So I have that other row of the alphabet to do, so that won't take long. There is, I don't know whether you can see it, there's a row of satin stitching underneath the alphabet. And then there's the scene at the bottom. So the tree and the bird and the fruit basket and the black sheep. I'm going to save the black sheep for last. But I hope to have this done certainly by the end of November, if not sooner. And I'm just going to, like I said, it's going to be my hour-a-day project. I'm going to keep working on it and get this sweet little design done. So that is Wendy's Black Sheep sampler. Now, we also have, let me actually switch these around. I also worked at Stitch West on patchwork. And you've seen this before. So patchwork is a design by Jan Haltman. He is a Dutch designer who has since passed away. I'm trying to figure out, I don't have a good picture to show you of this, but I do have this printout that I've kind of mapped out the colors that I'm going to use where. So this kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. I am using Mrs. Sada's silks on this, and I am doing this as a rainbow, rainbow on the diagonal. So this is one that I would really like to finish in 2023. And can I just say, I cannot get my brain around the fact that we are already talking about 2023. This year has disappeared. Time goes so fast, people. Anyways, I didn't work on any of these that much at Stitch West, but I did work on each one a little bit. So I started with, this is, by the way, 36 count antique white linen by Zweigert. Nothing fancy for this linen, because I really wanted all the colors to shine. So this particular one that I'm working with, the color is number 64. Like I said, Mrs. Sada's floss. Stick that there. So I just started a motif right here, so I'll be working in this general area. Like I said, I would really like to get this finished by the end of 2023. So I plan on really focusing on this next year. I'm not sure what that really means. Sarah, Mistress Page, talks about having a focus piece for 7 days out of the month, basically a week out of the month. I may follow along those lines. It's hard to say, especially with, if I do get into Nashville, what that will mean for my stitching. But anyway, that's my idea. And I always just love picking this up. I can't wait to move past the oranges and the yellows. You know, those aren't my favorite colors, and get into the blues and the greens. Those are my favorite colors. I have a ways to go yet. But yeah, Patchwork by Jan Haltman. I would really like to get this framed. I will also say, oh, this is a good question for you guys. As I move things around so I can show you something on my iPad. So when Maria and I go down to Ogden, I was thinking that I would like to take Hoity Toity to Jill Rensel to have it framed by her. I think that is a piece that is deserving of the special framing treatments that Jill does. Well, Jill and Amber. One thing I don't know is whether, do they have a storefront? Does Jill Rensel Framing have a storefront that you can actually walk into and take your piece and, like, you know, pick out frames or whatever, or drop it off? Or is it only like mailing stuff in? If any of you know that, let me know, because that is one of the questions I I had, and I'd like to do that if we're going to go down to Ogden. I'd kind of like to take Shades of Gold. I still haven't gotten that framed yet either, so I'd kind of like to take that as well. All right, so before I get into the Stitch West stuff, because the other Stitch West stitching that I have to show you will kind of lead into haul a bit, I do want to show you something else I pulled out. Many of you know that we are heading into Black Sampler November. That is something that Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery started, and I did start one last year for that. I started the Pomegranate Sampler by Fox and Rabbit, and I love this. You can get this on the Fox and Rabbit website. I will try to remember to link this below. If I forget, just say, hey, Jan, what's the link? And I will put it in. I try my best, but there's an awful lot going on. So yeah, I had started this last year. It is charted in 310, DMC 310 and DMC 414. Whoops, hold on. I dropped my little whiteboard down there. I am using, let me show you it first. So that is the progress that I made last year for the most part. I pulled it out the other day and did the black stitching around this leaf over here. So Pomegranate Sampler, Fox and Rabbit. I am stitching this on, this was Forbidden Fiber Company's Frozen. It was from their Gilmore Girls box that I got a while ago. And this is a 40 count, I believe. So instead of the black and the 414, I am using Classic Colorworks, Black Coffee, and Plymouth Rock. So again, I will put some stitches into this month. I don't know how much, I don't know when. I haven't planned that out yet, but it will get some attention this month. All right, then last but not least, and the thing that is leading into my Stitch West goodies is, we'll start with the folder. So Rika King of House of Stitch and Stash came over from Germany to Stitch West, and she sewed like a madwoman to make these folders that are very, very popular. I managed to snag one. So these kind of become a mat as well, a stitch mat. But it has a thread bed. It has a vinyl pocket over here. It has a pocket back here. It has a pocket here. And it has a pocket here. So, and there's also a little, actually, I think that was one of the things. I got this little fob from somebody passing things out at Stitch West. So, yeah, this is gorgeously made. Rika is an amazing seamstress. So it has a little snap closure with this tab on it. And it's beautiful. It's quilted. It has a nice body to it. It's not floppy. You can see it stands up very nicely. And, I mean, holds a ton. You could put multiple projects in here. Right now, the project that I have is the Teresa Kogut exclusive that she did for Stitch West. And it is called the Seaworthy Sampler. And I know you've seen this multiple places before from all kinds of different people that attended Stitch West. So we got a kit with the pattern. It had a needle minder. It had the fabric. It had the floss. It had floss drops. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things. They're in my pile over there. So this is not all. This is the additional floss. I don't have all of it on the floss drops yet. I'm kind of putting it on as I go, as I need the floss. I did start this on the drive home from Stitch West. I did not use the model fabric was 40 count. Let me read so I make sure I'm getting the information right. It's Treehouse Fiber Arts, Legacy Fiber Arts, 40 count nor'easter. And I think Teresa, they had asked what the preferred count of fabric was for the majority of the people attending, and 32 count, no surprise there, was the preferred. So our kit came with 32 count, this same linen, the Nor'easter by Legacy Fiber Arts, LFA linens, but I didn't want to stitch on a 32 count. I wanted to stitch, you know, my comfort is 36-40. So luckily, Leslie LaFleur from Under the Sea Fabrics was one of the vendors at Stitch West, and I might have purchased several of her fabrics, which you will see in a minute. This was given out, that the kit for Seaworthy Sampler was given out pretty much in the evening of the last of Saturday. So I went over to Leslie's table just to see if she had anything left, and lo and behold, she did have the perfect color in a 40 count left. I thought I had cleared her out of the 30 or the 40 and 46, but apparently I hadn't. So this is my start. This is DMC floss for the most part. There is 1 week's dye works, but this is my start on that. I did start in the bottom left corner. This is pretty much full coverage down here in the water. So you have the water and the fishies, and then I came up just kind of a column here. I stitched this little tiny whale, and I stitched up to the top of the water. Got to that last night. So that is what you're seeing here. That little whale isn't finished. He still has a different color of floss to put inside there. But that is where I am at this point. I will probably still stitch on this in the evenings for the rest of October, you know, 2 or 3 more days, to get more of this done. And then this will probably get put away until next time. But it's a gem of a sampler. The design on the sail is awesome. The whole lighthouse scene is perfect. The flowers, the mermaid, I mean, she hit it out of the park. And I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I wasn't expecting to get a whole kit like that from anybody. It just didn't even enter my mind that this is something we would get at Stitch West. So little heart's full of stitchy goodness. And of course, this folder by Rika is just, Rika, you do beautiful work. Oh, let me show you the little scissor fob, or the little fob on the floss ring. So it has a little ship's wheel charm, not an anchor, ship's wheel charm. And then part of the scene, if I can get the charm out of the way. Hold on, it's all jumbled up here. The charm doesn't want to move. And I don't want to fuss with it too much and break anything. Well, I think you can see. Maybe you can't see. Anyway, a little part of the scene is on the floss ring. So just, I mean, everything is just beautiful. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Deb and Kef, for the wonderful show. Thank you for allowing me to vend. It was awesome. Everything about it was awesome. So that is that. Now, I need to clear some things out, move up my haul. which you know is always a process. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Where to start? So let me start with all the goodies that kept appearing on my table every time I left. As always, the stitchers are just so generous. Everybody makes something and brings something and gives stuff away. I did the Mrs. Sadis floss that she had sent me, those big skeins she had sent me of her new colorways. I split all those up, separated them out into about 5.5 yard amounts, and put them on some old business cards, and gave away all of that. So, because there's no way I can use all that silk. So I'm happy to spread the Mrs. Sadis love and introduce people who might not be aware of her to her gorgeous silks. And lots of candy. You can tell it's Halloween. Lots of candy. So I don't know who came from what. You know, again, you walk away and you come back to your table and there's more stuff. So this little stand for a phone, if you want to watch something while you're stitching. And I was wondering if you could actually, I guess it probably wouldn't hold up like your charts or anything. But anyways, that was kind of a cool and different little gift. Wendy from the Heart Needle Arts, little bag of candy, as well as a gorgeous scissor fob. Look how pretty that is. I need to get that on a pair of scissors. Oh, that's so pretty, Wendy. Another little floss ring with a pretty cabochon on it. Is that what you would call that? More floss drops with beads and charms, and a charm. I don't have a name for this one, but I thought this was pretty clever. Instead of a heavy ring, they used, you know, to put your floss drops on, they used an earring form. So I thought that was kind of clever. Not super heavy and droppy, but certainly big enough to hold your floss rings. From Stacy Stitches, a scissor fob. Lynx Stitches. Now, I do have to say, Lynn, is this I don't think it's a needle minder. I don't think it's magnetic. No. Lynn, what do I do with this? It's a big old paper clip for your patterns. Maybe to hold your pattern on your fabric? Lynn, clue me in. I'm clueless. Jordan and her mom gave out some scissor fobs. Floss drops. Let's see. Oh, this one is really pretty. The Tattooed Reading Owl, Alma Hernandez. Look how pretty that. Scissor fob, zipper fob. It's a littler lobster claw, but it is gorgeous. Gorgeous beads with an owl on it. And this, oh my God, this is so adorable. This is Ray Slade. She is it Ray Stitching Sunshine? Look at that needle minder. Isn't that adorable? A little hedgehog. I love that. Let's see. This is the Appalachian Stitcher. We have a, again, a paper clip with an anchor and 2022 to represent Stitch West. Somebody made some beeswax molds. This was from Kendra Elliott, counting pin. Very pretty. I have a smashed Reese's cup in here. I have another, these are little pumpkin Reese cups. I have another one in here. And I have another one in here. I was actually wondering where those went to. That was from the ladies at my table. And let me say, they kind of adopted me. I didn't register at the time of everybody else because we were getting our table set up. So by the time I was done getting my vendor table set up, everybody was pretty much seated and stitching and chatting. So Linda Austin, the Wisconsin Wisco Stitcher, she is one of the employees at Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and I had met her at StitchCon. she had an empty space at her table, and so they adopted me. And yeah, so that was really great getting to know her and Jody Saladino and the other ladies at our table. This is a needle minder and floss drop set from Red Thicket. We have a pen from, I don't know who that was from, Backcountry Stitcher. Jen has floss drops. And she is actually going to be, I think I mentioned to you in my last video that, you know, when I talked about the Peace Christmas candles, I told you I was thinking about doing a Hanukkah set as well as a Kwanzaa set. Jen connected with me at Stitch West, and we talked about the Hanukkah set. I had started to design it, but I wasn't done. She volunteered to model stitch it for me, so I got it done and sent to her. So I hope to have that pattern ready for you sometime in November. I didn't put any type of deadline on her, but it's not huge, so hopefully she will get that done in the next few weeks, and I will have that to release to you. So that, Jen, thank you very much for reaching out. That helps me so much. This is from Tracy Stitches. This is her dog Daphne, and she has some floss drops with those. This was from Brenda Miles, Handwork Maniac. She actually sat at the table behind me, so I got to chat with her a bit, which I loved. Brenda is somebody from when I first started watching FlossTube. Between her and Kindred Stitcher, Lisa Smith, they kept me enabled and shopping. Our tastes are very similar. So that, I mean, that was just awesome. This is from Kathy Meller. Floss drop with a little stitching bug on it. That's so cute. A scissor fob, zipper fob that was woven. I don't remember who I got this from, but that is super cool. This is a floss drop from Classy Kawaii. Oh, Debbie Sisk. And, oh, and a wax thing. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie, I feel like I didn't actually get to meet you and talk to you. And I'm very sorry about that, because I know you comment a lot on my videos, and kind of make me sad when I realized I didn't specifically meet you. There's so many people that I met that I didn't catch their names. Either they stopped wearing name tags or the name tags were turned around, you know, so you don't really hone in on everything. More candy. This is, Stitching with the Sisterlies, and a needle minder with a needle attached. This is a really pretty one. Thank you. And last but not least, and I don't think there's a name attached to this. This appeared on my table when I was away. Look at this beautiful thread keep. I'm sure it was laser cut. It's gorgeous. One of you, if you're watching, let me know if you did this. I want to thank you in person, personally. It's not really in person at this point. Okay, so that's all the little doodads that we got. I'm gonna clean these back up. I will sort them out better later. I'll keep the candy out so I remember to eat it. All right, now, things that I actually purchased. First and foremost, let me make sure I don't have anything tucked away in here. Oh, that's right. Daisy Chain Quilt Company was one of the vendors. I had never heard of her. She's a sweetheart. I believe her name is Ginger. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ginger. Beautiful bags. Now, you know that I prefer cloth, full cloth bags and not vinyl front bags, and you don't find them very often. So when I do, I like to grab them. Gorgeous. Look how pretty this fabric is. Daisy Chain Quilt Company. She does have on her tag a place to put the project name, which I also really appreciate. Let me see. She has a business card in here. She does have an Etsy shop as well as being on Instagram. And she also gave me this little Notions bag as a free gift for purchasing. Thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful work. Just thinking, what project can I put in that? Sorry, segue. Okay, so here is the rest of the fabric that I got for the Seaworthy sample. This is Winterbrook 40 count, again, Under the Sea Fabrics. So that is what is left of that fat quarter. One of the things I was looking for was a nice gray fabric for my winter Carolyn's balloons. I do have some gray, but it's either too dark or just not right. So I did get some Top Knot Stitcher did have a table there in the vendor room, Abby. So she did have some Barb's blend that has a grayish tint. This is 36 count. I was actually more looking for a 40 count. The Carolyn's Balloons Autumn is actually stitched on a 46 count. But anyways, I figured even if I decide not to use it, it does not hurt to have some Barb's blend. So that is that. Let's see. Oh, you know something? There it is. Stacy Stitches had a vendor booth there, and she had mentioned in the Stitch West group that she was going to be there and that she had floss winders. And I knew I wanted to get one of hers. She does, so I had gotten a couple from the R&R Wood place in Kentucky. I knew I wanted a bigger one, and she does these ones that are the different woods combined, and it is gorgeous. The other thing I like about hers is these little features. So this hole, you put the end of the floss through, and then you wind your floss around, and then when you're ready to cut it, you cut through this little groove. You cut the floss here. So your scissors have a place to go, because when you're cutting up here, I'm always afraid that I'm going to scratch the wood. So I just think that is brilliant. So that is Stacy Stitches, Stacy Clark. And let me see if she has, again, I don't have my glasses on. She has a website. She does not have an Etsy shop by the looks of it. So I will put all that information down below. She is also hosting a retreat. This is in Clearwater Beach, Florida, February 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. She has a website. She has information about it on her website, stacystitchescreativestudio.com. But I will put information for this as well, if that's something. Oh, and this is 2024, not 2023. So it's a whole over a year out. Plenty of time to think about that and plan for that. All right. And she also includes directions with the floss winder on how to use it, which I'm glad you did, Stacy, because I didn't realize. I'm like, what is that groove for? What's the hole for? When I first used it, and I did cut at the top, and then I found this little card. So, duh. All right. So the other, so Teresa gave not only the Seaworthy sampler. Let me get all these goodies out of here. But she also created a couple smaller charts. And let me see. Hold on. There's actually two smaller ones as well as the bigger one. And I don't know whether the second smaller one has a picture in here or not. I don't think so. But this is, let's see if there's a picture in here. Hold, please. No. All right, so this is one of the smaller charts. There's another one that's even smaller, and I don't remember what is on it, but it's the same theme. So this one is called Under the Sea. So you have Seaworthy Sampler, you have Under the Sea, and a third one. And in addition to the charts and the kit, she also had a needle minder made with the mermaid. How cute is that? a project card to put on the back of your stitching once it is finished. And then a couple of little stickers. This is the themed sticker. And then kind of her trademark look with the hand, and then another one of her patterns, all in little stickers. So again, just beyond what I was expecting. I'm going to put this down here. I will put that away later. Jordan, little stitch girl, Jordan Nicole, was also one of the featured designers there, and she also created a little pattern just for us. This is called A Stitcher's Life. A Stitcher's Life is the life for me. And this is so clever because she left this little leaf kind of half stitched, that's just half stitches on that little leaf, with the thread kind of trailing off of it, with the needle still attached. So like this is a whip, this is a work in progress, but you finish it like that. And I just think that is so clever. Such a sweet way to have a little piece showing, you know, we're just constantly working on something. So thank you, Jordan. That is super sweet. More fabric. Okay, this is actually the kit fabric. This is the 32 count Nor'easter by Legacy Fiber Arts. So you can see it is kind of a gray blue, not as saturated as the one I picked, but that's okay. All right, the other fabric is all, oh, okay, these three are from Under the Sea Fabric. And I went a little crazy. Fabric is such a weakness for me. This is 40 count Elphaba, a really cool kind of bluish green. And I could totally see either a spring type of thing or even a watery type of thing on this design. So that is that. These next two are not my colors at all. At all, but I couldn't resist them. This one is called Christmas in Williamsburg, and it is a 46 count. And number one, I love a gold fabric. I think gold is, because blues are my favorite color, golds are opposite on the color wheel, so they often make a great ground for blue stitching. Christmas in Williamsburg. I love Williamsburg, Virginia. I've been multiple times. Christmas in Williamsburg is a really, really special time. I mean, it's decorated. It's all colonial type of decorations, not your traditional modern type. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite times to go to Williamsburg. And so, yeah, I felt I needed to get the fabric Christmas in Williamsburg, and it's gold. Just gorgeous. This next one is totally not my color, but it's 56 count, isn't it? Is that what it is? Yes, 55 count Aztec. Again, I like the name. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's kind of a terracotta, and it feels so good. It has a great hand to it. I don't know. That might be a pretty accurate color representation there. I don't know if we got a good representation of this one. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, this is totally not my color, but I loved it. I am not switching to an orange person. No, you don't have to worry about that. All right, so that is my haul from Stitch West. I actually did not go to any of the cross-stitch stores. I had planned on going to the Center for Fine Stitchery, but on Saturday at some point. But it was a rainy, nasty kind of day, and when it came right down to it, I didn't feel like it. And Shepherd's Bush, since I'm going to be going there with Maria, I knew I could wait till then to go to Shepherd's Bush. So didn't actually go to any cross-stitch stores that weekend. Other stuff I got in the mail while I was gone. I got my next set of Vicki Clayton's silks, the variegated. I have not opened this yet. So let me do that. and we will look at these pretty colors. Now these are the ones that are the equivalents of the over-dyed flosses. I'm not going to try and read. Inky Cap, I'll try and read. Forgive my squinting. Inky Cap. Speaking of orange, Flash Train. Hope you can see these okay. Sun Racked. Oh, that's a pretty gold. That would be actually a pretty gold for that if you wanted to do a conversion. Eerie Pasts. I don't know where she comes up with these names. Well of Lies. It's an interesting green. You Moon. Oh, that's a pretty one. Look at that pretty navy. Yearning Heart. It's kind of a rusty red. Dull Flame. Pretty gold. Niggling Details. Oh, that's an interesting color. And last but not least, No Way. W-H-E-Y. Love it. All right, so that's Vicky's silks for this month, Variegated Floss Club. I had a couple questions about, I think a couple of you emailed me this go around, this last 2 weeks, asking about Vicky's club. It's not like a club you necessarily sign up for. Like, there's not a place on her website that you go and sign up for the club. What you do, if you want to get this every month, you email or message Vicky on Facebook or email her and say you're interested in getting, she also has this solid monthly club. So variegated of the month and solid of the month. And let her know that you're interested in getting them every month. And she'll add you to the list. And what she does is just sends out invoices. It's usually around maybe the 25th of the month. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's towards the end of the month, every month. So she will just send you an invoice and then you pay it and she'll ship it. So it's not like you go onto the website and sign up for 3 months or 6 months. And then of course, anytime you want to cancel, you'll just get in touch with her again and let her know that you want to stop. So, next is my fabric from Fox and Rabbit. I am one of their Patreon followers. I am in the tier 4. And for tier 4, not only do you get patterns every month, whatever they're releasing publicly, they give to their patrons. But you also, I think I'm remembering that right. It's been a while since I've read the list of what we get at tier 4. But you also get fabric. And you can get either 2 fat quarters of fabric or 1 fat quarter and a project bag that Karen sews herself. I decided I would rather have the fabric than a project bag, so I get 2 fat quarters. And I am getting 40 count. And so this was the first, and I think it's every quarter, every 2 months. I'm telling you a bunch of things that I'm not really sure about. So if you're interested, check it out yourself. Don't take what I'm saying as gospel. But anyways, November, it was the first batch of fabric that we got. So I got 2 fat quarters, 40 count again. This is white clay, and it is, I mean, talk about a gorgeous soft white. It is, this would be perfect for one of the samplers I'm doing. It's beautiful. And then the other one is hog bristle. And all these, I believe, are, if not already in their standard line, they will be coming into their standard line. So this is kind of a mellow, goldy type of color. So happy to have those in my stash. And actually, the hog bristle would be really pretty for a sampler, too. I'm looking over here because I have a bunch of antique samplers to show you that I just recently acquired. Next up is my layer cake, not charm pack. My dear quilters out there who all corrected me that the 10-inch squares are layer cakes, not charm packs. I could have read that and known that, but you know, because it says layer cake right there, but that would have been too easy. So this go around is Isabella by Minnick and Simpson. So it's kind of a florally, let me see if I can get this off so I can show you better what the fabrics look like. It's kind of a florally patriotic. There's some stars, there's some stripes, there's florals, and it's in all the layer, the different fabrics are like all the different colors, and I think it's actually all the different fabrics that are in the line. So it's kind of fun to have, and I'm very, you know, this is one of the pieces from the Threads That Bind, the Blackbird Designs one that was the first pack that I got. That, the red there is from, I don't remember, but it's from one of the layer cakes that I got, as is Stitch Happiness, wherever, oh, back here. So that's the same, just a different color of that. I'm finding it very useful to have these. I've already picked out the backing that I'm going to be using for the samplings winter. So I just find it very helpful to have these pieces to pull from and a lot of different choices to pull from. And oh my goodness, look how pretty that one is. Isn't that sweet? Goodness, I love that. It almost makes me think I need to design something so I can use that fabric. All right. So that is all the kind of regular haul that I got. I mentioned antique samplers. I have been fortunate enough that over the past few weeks, excuse me, there have been samplers that have come up for auction, and these are all on eBay. That is where I look mainly for my samplers that have been in my price range that I could afford. I do not spend a lot of money on my samplers. I have a pretty strict limit of how much I'm going to put out at this point. And there have been some samplers, just stunning pieces that were right in that ballpark and I managed to get. So I don't believe I had gotten this one. I think this came the day after my last video. This is a French one, and it did come from France, so it took a little while to get here, and it is very delicate. So the name on it is Louise Chapuis, 1844. And it is, gosh, the border, as the people on Instagram said who saw it, the border is everything. So most of it is stitched in a wool thread, but the border appears to be silk. Well, the blue parts of the border appear to be silk, and there are these tiny little beads outlining those ribbons. I'm going to turn it over and show you the back. You can, I don't know whether you can, oh no, this is from the layer cake. I was going to say, that's not the shedding from the sampler. The colors on the back, I want you to especially pay attention to, God, it's amazing. Pay attention to the colors over here. So these flowers with the peach and the yellow, and these flowers that look like a pale blue and a cream. When you turn it over, I don't want to bend it too much. Look at that on the back. Look at the purples. So that's like a little pansy type of flower. Isn't that amazing? So I actually, you know, I charted Antonia in both, my first Antonia in both the faded colorway and the bright colorway. This one I think I will just do in the bright colorway because it is just so stunning. And the colors on the front are just kind of like bleh. I am going to be charting this one. Again, I keep saying, if I get into Nashville, I will be charting it for Nashville. For a release at Nashville. If I don't get into Nashville, I'll just be charting it and releasing it whenever I get it done. All right, next in the lineup. These two were sold by the same seller. They were incredibly cheap. This one is a little bit rougher to see. So it says it is by eBarrow. It says eBarrow Sampler, Olean, and the seller thought that meant Olean, New York. EB aged 7 years. I don't believe there is an actual date on this. No. You can see the darker colors ran quite a bit. So down here is where it says in this lighter floss is where it says Olean. It does not say like NY for New York. It just says Olean, O-L-E-A-N. So there's that one. And then this one. This one says LM 1858, and then it says .17. So I don't know whether that means she was 17 years old when she stitched it. Yeah, I have no idea. And of course, we just have the initials LM. This was done in wool, so that's why the colors remain so bright. So that one. And then, and I don't have any firm plans for when I'm actually going to reproduce those. And then there's this one. And again, super cheap considering what it is. It has been conservation mounted. The frame is super heavy. And it is just stunning. So the name on this is down here. It is Laura Vorgensen. And there's a date here in the middle. And it looks like some of it has been lost, but it looks like it's 1853. This is a very fine linen. Look at that scene in the middle. Isn't that amazing? Both of the wreaths do have initials in them, but of course there's no indication of what those initials actually mean. The alphabets are varied and gorgeous. There is one that is a four-sided stitch. There is one that is an eyelet. I know it's probably hard to see. I can't tell how much glare is on this either, but hopefully it's not too bad. So this one, I am actually going to be charting for a sampler guild. The Rocky Mountain Sampler Guild reached out to me and asked me to chart something for them for their annual meeting next August. So I didn't have anything that they really cared for in my collection when they first reached out to me, and there was a possibility I was going to chart one that one of the members has. She has multiple ones. But then I came across this one and thought it would just be perfect. It's beautiful. And it's really my style of sampler. You guys know I don't like the more traditional samplers. That's just gorgeous. Okay, so that is my haul. So now let's talk a little bit about giveaways. I think that's everything there. Yeah, okay. First of all, I still haven't heard from a few of you from the last video. Now, some of the ones I haven't heard from are from the older whips the older giveaways from like last Christmas. I haven't heard from some of you, so those ones I'm just going to bring back out and look for new people. Words. You know, it's almost 2 o'clock. I haven't had anything to eat since breakfast. I'll blame it on that. Words. Anyway, so those ones I will work into the rotation as we go on here. But these, there's still a few from last video that I haven't heard from for my patterns. Okay, so the first one is Samplings of Lace Autumn. This is this one with the counting pins. And this is going to Cindy McLean, McClean. Cindy, please get in touch with me. If I do not hear from you by the next time that I do a video, then I will find another recipient. Next is Carolyn's Balloons Autumn. This one was to go to Tamra Pierce, Pierce. Again, get in touch with me, Tamra. Email me with your mailing address. I did get out all of the giveaways to people that I had heard from, so I'm like starting with a clean slate here. And then last is Antonia Rosselli Garcia, 1886. This one is to go to Sonia Fisk. So ladies, get in touch with me if you are still interested. All right, new giveaways for this week. I got a few little gifts from Tammy out in Hawaii, sent me some kits. Oh, that one pierced open a bit. I hope we haven't lost anything. I don't think we have. 2 little Christmas Mill Hill kits. So these are separate. So, and actually I didn't think of any clever things to answer for giveaways either. So the first one is called Tropical Santa. And this is, it's in the Tropical Santa set or collection. And this is Hawaii Santa. Like I said, Tammy is from Hawaii. So for this one, just say you'd like to stitch the Hawaii Santa. I will be searching on the keyword Hawaii. This one is a button and beads winter series. This is Tapestry Noel. Isn't that pretty? So if you're interested in this, say something about Noel. Or just say, I'd like to stitch the Tapestry Noel. I'm just kind of poking in here to make sure we haven't lost anything. Oh no, the button's still there. Okay, buttons, beads, thread, everything's still there. And the same with this. This has all the goodies in it. So it's the little kit. And then the third giveaway is a set from Fat Quarter Shop. So we have the Autumn Love pattern. And we have the, what is this? Autumn Love needle minder. And then the third, the fabric isn't from Fat Quarter Shop. This is one of the fabrics that Beth Liotta generously gifted to me. So this is the giveaway, the pattern, the needle minder, and the fabric. And the fabric is a 32 count dirty linen, 1/2 yard. So that's a generous cut of fabric for a lot of different things. Okay, so if you're interested in this, say Autumn Love. I will probably be searching on the word autumn. All right. Plans. Don't know when I'll get my next video in, but I usually start to feel like it's time within a 2-week time range. So somewhere in November, beginning of November, you'll probably see me again. Like I said, Maria is coming here. She will actually get in on the 9th, and she'll be here for a week. So we'll be going down to Shepherd's Bush at some point, and then just hanging and laughing and giggling and stitching, and she will be teaching me how to finish. Let's see, stitching wise, I'll be finishing up the winter samplings. I will be getting Carolyn's Balloons winter stitched, and starting to chart my next reproduction sampler. Hanukkah candles should be ready sometime in November for release. And I hope to release all of those. Well, not the sampler. The winter Carolyn's Balloons and the winter samplings will all be released in November. Let's see. Oh, and then I have a new start planned with Carolyn in November. And that is Bothy's 12 Days of Christmas, which is right here. That's fun, huh? This is a full coverage piece. It is a kit. There is, oh, look at all that metallic thread. Yeah, there's a lot of metallic. Like, I think all the numbers have the metallic in it. It does come with Aida fabric. I will not be using the Aida. I will be finding probably a 25 count Lugana. I have some of that hanging in my closet. So I'll be stitching this over one on 25 count Lugana, and we'll have to see how the metallic does on that. But yeah, it comes with everything all ready to go. So this is Carolyn and I's new start. I've kind of fallen down on the year of Jan and Carolyn new starts. I haven't done any in the last few months because I've been so inundated with my stitching. But I am determined to start this. And then in December we have at least Winter Rose Manor. What else is there, Carolyn, in December? I don't remember. She keeps better notes than I do. All right, guys, I think that is all for today. I forgot the angel card. Keep popping in and out on you. I keep forgetting things. This one is so appropriate. So when I talked to Teresa Kogut at Stitch West, I introduced myself, and she knew my name. She had watched my videos some, but she knew my name mostly because of the angel cards, because I had sent several people to her Etsy shop to buy the angel cards. And I told her that the thing, even though this is like my second year, I may be going into my third year rotating through these, it always is the right thing, the perfect thing for someone out there to hear on that day. It's just, it's the way it works, right? And this one, spot on. Learn from the way the wildflowers grow. Now, this is perfect for this time of year, isn't it? Wildflowers, it has a kind of autumn sunflowerly look. I guess the sunflowers are way past blooming now, but you get it. Our lives have seasons. One day you will look back on this time and realize it happened in order for you to grow. And this is perfect for me because I was talking to a friend this morning who is someone that I used to work with at the store in Sarasota. And leaving the store, no longer being able to work there, it was for a good cause. Mike decided to go back to work full-time. He had been writing full-time, and he decided he needed to go back to work, so we needed to do it. But it was hard to leave. These were my friends. These were my family at the yarn store. But looking back now, if I hadn't left there, I would not have started designing. I would not have started cross-stitching again because I was consumed by the world of knitting, right? I was living it, I was selling it, I was teaching it, and I was stitching or knitting models for the store. So all I was doing was knitting. Leaving that environment meant I went back to some stitching and went back to more stitching and started a floss tube channel, and everything just grew from there. And then my friend Anne suggested that I start designing, and everything continued to grow from there. But it would never have happened if I hadn't left Sarasota. So even though that was a traumatic kind of experience, not traumatic, but it was hard to leave. And even though I miss it, I miss my friends there and I care about them deeply, I would not be where I am today if we hadn't left. Both physically, certainly, but also where I am as a stitcher with a business, with a flourishing community. My heart is full, as I said earlier. All right, guys, I am going to cut it off there. I've been talking long enough. My throat's sore. It's time for some lunch, and I will get this edited and uploaded. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy the videos from Stitch West. It was a blast. You know, I can't wait for next year. Until next time, you guys take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Are you allowed to show it?
You can buy it. It's online to buy, so I figured it's
So
fine.
what is this?
It's Furry's Best by the Wishing Board.
Oh, it's gorgeous. So tell me, fabric and floss, what are you using?
It's DMC floss, and it's, I think it's 28.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were talking
Wow.
about
Beautiful. Thank you.
It is.
All right,
The other side of my
Maureen.
magnet there. Hold on.
This is gorgeous. Mill Hill, what is this one called?
It is a floral fantasy. It's a Debbie Mum.
And so it's the kit, everything,
It's the
fabric,
fibers and the fabric and all
look
the
at
beads.
Now I have to ask you, Maureen came from Delhi, New Delhi, India. Did you work on this on the flight with all those beads?
I did not.
You have something simpler for the flight? Or are you too busy taking care of the boys
I'm
on the
too
flight?
busy taking care of the boys on the flight. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
What do you have going on over here?
I am working on the plantation sampler from 1884 Stitchery.
So pretty.
Yeah, she's re-released it and I love it. So it's the full pattern is somewhere in my fancy menu thing, which is so fabulous.
That is awesome. What a
Yes,
clever
isn't that
idea.
awesome? Yes. So
Getting close here. There's some glare. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go.
yeah, 1884 Stitchery.
Oh, that's right.
She re-released it. So
So
exciting.
what are we using then?
I am
Called
using
for
the
floss?
called for DMC floss, and then I'm using Lakeside Linen Fawn.
Oh, that's so pretty. I'm going to
Thank
get in
you.
close here.
Yeah, I am just loving it.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here? Oh, we have a Teresa Povich. Nice.
Fabulous
Oh, the
monsters.
monsters.
Yeah.
And the fabric. So this is a fabric flare.
Fabric flare. Yeah.
Did you get this at Stitchery Express
I did.
yesterday or the day before or something?
Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very fun. So this is the called for DMC.
Yes.
Nice. Just getting started. Next we have Away We Ride. You've got a good start going there.
Yes, call for floss and Be-Stitch Me fabric.
Oh,
I don't know what the
pretty.
color is, but
Do you know what the count is?
32.
Nice. Gorgeous. All right, we have Sarah Fisher. Hi. Tell me what you're working on.
Okay, this is Where Liberty Dwells from Hands On Design.
Ah, yes.
The drum series.
I was going to say, this is meant to be a drum, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Got
So,
the kit.
Yep, and this is just the easy way to do it at a retreat.
And you are
backstitch.
just about done, I would say.
Yes, ma'am. I just have to go around.
Exciting.
and
Now,
around.
have you made a drum before?
Yes.
Ah.
I made the Tiny Modernist drums.
Okay.
I did one of the Halloween ones.
Awesome,
And the
yeah.
Haunted Mansion Stretching Portrait. Made that into a drum.
Oh.
Ray Slade did it at the first Stitch West. And that
Oh.
inspired me.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, you're probably. Oh.
Oh my heck, the mermaid! You guys, Jan's gonna take some video. If you guys would hold them up.
Oh my.
Oh no, this one came out. Her floss tube is Mission Stitch. Okay.
Beautiful.
I'm just gonna stand up. Thank you so much.
Look at that.
Tell me when you're ready for me to switch. You've got to hold the purple one up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Purple one up.
Oh, look at that.
She needs her own rack And you're not
Okay, I'm gonna hold this one back up.
Kind of pull it this way so we can see the sparkle.
Oh, yeah. It's catching
Is she
it. It's
upset?
catching it. Wow. She's overwhelmed.
Okay, hold the next one up, you guys. Hold up
Next one.
spring. Okay, hold up spring.
Is she upset?
Is she overwhelmed? Overwhelmed? Oh.
Are you ready? No, she's overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed by everything. Everybody ready?
My goodness.
See how you can see you're bringing people together to find their people.
Yes.
Did we do this one?
Gorgeous. Oh my goodness gracious.
Did I do this one already?
Yeah, I'll get it done next week.
That was okay. What is this one?
This one's fire.
I can't even stand it. What is even going on? Why are they not framed?
She likes the process.
Okay.
Jill Rensel needs to get into this.
She's a process person. And we're okay with that.
I challenge you. Wait, are these the ones she does in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Are you?
We want to be her when we grow up.
Yes. Like literally, we strive to meet her.
We love her.
First, we have to grow up, but then.
That is so cute.
That is beautiful.
What is that?
Gathering eggs.
Gathering
It's
eggs.
a-
It's memorabilia.
Really?
Gathering eggs.
That is beautiful.
Wow.
I guess it was in a magazine.
It was in a magazine first, and then it was released as a child.
Wow. This is just like.
Oh my head.
Look at that fabric.
You can look through here.
That's just.
It is literally.
This is my favorite.
No way. Is that a
Look
mirror?
at the glitter on that. In a
This
weird.
one.
Doing it.
This one is my favorite. And I have this one.
That's gorgeous.
We haven't seen these others.
Yeah. I want to see the chatelaines too.
Carla, can you help me with this?
Yeah, there's some buried under there.
Oh, yeah. We haven't seen her chatelaine.
Yeah, we need to see the chatelaines. Oh, holy cow.
That's a work in progress.
Oh my goodness.
She's got another one on the brag table.
I saw that one. I got video of
This is
that.
St. Peter's. What was this pattern?
Oh, it's, yeah, the St. Petersburg mandala.
The Russian.
Look how gorgeous that is.
And like,
Oh my gosh. She just brought it to show us.
Beautiful.
that's a lot of work.
Is it on 40 count?
32. 32. Yeah.